Hello class, this is Ms. Williams. I am the instructor for the Corporate Social Responsibility and Leadership class for the Spring 2018 semester. In this short video, I would like to discuss with you the course syllabus, just some things about Brightspace and how you can be successful in this class. First of all, it is a 100% online course, meaning that everything you do will be done in an online environment. There will be no face-to-face meetings. 2 books are required for this course, as you can see if you're in Brightspace. Hopefully you have opened Brightspace. If you have not opened it, I would suggest that you pause the video rather and open up Brightspace so that you can work along with me. The 2 books required are Strategic Corporate Social Responsibility this is the first book. This is the most important book for the course. It's by David Chandler. All of your tests will come from this book, except for the last test, which will also include your second book, Good Works, by Phil Kodler, David Hesselkiel, and Nancy R. Lee. But both books are required. We will start out using both of them, but primarily at the beginning of the semester, we'll focus on the Strategic Corporate Social Responsibility book. If you've not used Brightspace, I would suggest that you open up these tutorials and review those. Panopto videos will be hopefully available after this one. This one I'm doing as a Facebook. Not as a Facebook, but as a YouTube video, but future videos will be done in Panopto. The week for this class begins on Mondays at 8 a.m. and ends on Sundays, 11:59 p.m. That means that all work must be submitted by Sunday, 11:59 p.m. If you need to communicate with me, please feel free to contact me by phone, by email, or by visiting my office room, M186G in the Polsky building. I am generally available 7 days a week, but on the weekends I'm not always as accessible. So I would suggest that you get your work in, let's say by Friday of each week, so that if you have any questions, I will be available to answer those questions for you. So this is your opening announcement, which I sent to all of you this week. So I want to move over to the syllabus. So if you click on content and under welcome here, you'll find a brief introduction of myself. In your first discussion for this week, you will introduce yourselves to the class too. Now, some of these modules will not impact you right away, like the computer-based testing and the Respondus Lockdown browser. That will come along later when you take your first test. So under course introduction, what I really want you to do this week is to focus on the syllabus and to introduce yourselves to each other. Let's look at the syllabus here. Under course information, just open up your syllabus. So in the syllabus at the top is my contact information and of course the 2 required textbooks for this class. Then you have your objectives. If you have any problems with technical, like your computer, then feel free to call the support help desk. There's a phone number listed and there's the email address. I want to move on down to the course requirements now. So therefore you have about 4 tests in this class and periodic quizzes, which will be worth 50% of your grade. The individual project is worth 20%. This is where you will select a nonprofit organization, administrator, director, or someone in an administrative role. Go to their premises and interview them. I have some information already posted on Brightspace. And you will prepare a written report and a PowerPoint presentation, and all of that is due near the end of the semester. The case study there will be 3 case studies selected from the textbook. Excuse me. And you can select one to analyze and summarize. So when we go back to Brightspace on another tab, you will see the directions for that. More information is provided on this page regarding each one of those evaluations on exams, the individual project, case study, discussion board, and the course participation. Now, I want to let you know that you cannot make up discussion board. And each week you will have a question posed. I will pose a question. You'll have to respond with 300 to a 400 word essay. And then you will, at least by Thursday of each week, you will post that initial response. And then from Thursday to Sunday, you will reply to 2 other students. So you cannot make up those. Keep that in mind. The exams, as a matter of fact, no late work is accepted in this course. However, I do understand that emergencies do arise. So if you will contact me in advance, we can arrange for some makeups, but not multiple makeups. And you will not earn full credit for any makeup work. You will only earn partial credit. This page just talks about the registration process in Brightspace. If you have any questions, though, after reading the syllabus in more detail, please let me know. Under the Course Information tab, you also have the course calendar, which corresponds to the weekly modules. So you might want to look those over first briefly each week, or print that out and post that on your wall. Now, there may be changes periodically, so you do want to double check with Brightspace. So here's the course calendar. You can see this week you're listening to the lecture video, and you have an article to read. What One Man Can Do is very interesting. A little information on 501c3 organizations or nonprofit organizations, and then you will respond to the self-introductions next week, this coming week rather. Now, week 2, we will move on to chapters 1 and 2 in the Green Book, Corporate Social Responsibility. So please get your book this week. I will have another lecture video at the beginning of the week for you to listen to next week. Under content, as I mentioned, you have your final project requirements, and each person, there are no group activities. Each person will prepare their own projects. So if you click on project requirements, you can go ahead and read these. I will be talking about these more later on. You only have a certain amount of time to select the nonprofit organization and submit it for approval to the instructor. So you do want to go ahead and read the directions. Contact the nonprofit organization that's related to health and education for families. We are not doing animals, animal shelters, anything, but nonprofits. There are over 3,000 nonprofit organizations in Summit County, so you shouldn't have a problem finding one. Your individual project, I'll just click on that right quick for you. As you can see, you can download it, and it will be, of course, much larger. It is a Word document, so you shouldn't have any problems reading it. So the purpose of this project is to allow students the opportunity to gain an appreciation and understanding of a nonprofit organization. Students are to explore current management issues and policies that nonprofit organizations face in today's environment. So these directions are pretty much step by step. I will get back to it, though, in another lecture video to talk more into detail. But in the meantime, what I want you to do is, when you find an organization, if you know one already, you can go to the discussion forum and post your selection. Under the topic Nonprofit Organization Selections, Individual Project. Nonprofit organization selection. So you are to post the organization's name, the administrator's name and job title, your tentative date of the interview. Please note that there are no duplications, first come, first serve. So let's say if someone wants to do the American Red Cross and you posted Monday and you have all of this information, then that organization is locked in. No other person can take it. The selections must be posted to the discussion forum no later than February 18th at 11:59 p.m. Okay, you must physically visit the facility. Phone calls and internet searches are not permissible. However, you may use the internet in researching the organization. Please follow the guidelines posted in the individual project module. So this is your very first project that's very important. It's not due until the end of the semester, but make sure you start working on it. The next thing that you want to do in the discussions, make sure you read these directions. You will lose points if you do not follow these directions. So the discussions are each week, like I stated. You don't have to use APA citations, but if you quote from another source, please give credit for that person. You are to include your page numbers. Where did you get this information from out of your textbook? In other words, I would like to know how or where in the textbook. In other words, you're not quoting your personal opinion on these questions. You're getting the information from reliable sources, which will be primarily your text. Each week, your essay should be between 300 and 400 words. You can use Microsoft Word to do a word count or any other word processor that you use. Do not submit your discussion post as an attachment. Instead, what you can do is prepare it in Word and then copy and paste it from Word to the discussion post. So you have from Monday to Thursday, 11:59 p.m. to post your initial response. And then after that, you would post to 2 other students in the class. Please remember to proofread because you are graded on spelling and grammar and mechanics. You must post by Thursday. You must address the question. Please do not filibuster because I read each one of your postings, so I'll know if you're filibustering or not. And also back up whatever you say with maybe a source. And don't forget the page numbers instead of simply saying, I agree. So for your first week, then, you will write a brief introduction about yourself. The information is included here. Then you will read the article, What One Man Can Do. And then under the content in Brightspace, on the discussion board, discuss your thoughts about this nonprofit organization and its founder, the importance of individual involvement in making a difference in society, and if you are currently engaged in any community service activities, such as volunteering with a specific organization. If so, what organization is it? So you will make your initial response and then reply to 2 other additional students or posts during the week. Under the content tab, also, you have for nonprofit organizations, here is the rubric for the individual project. Please follow it as you progress in completing it. I think it's pretty thorough. The numbers are but when you download it, you'll see this is spread out appropriately. So I'm looking for the written report, and that's the information is derived from your interview. So you have certain topics that you want to cover in that. Make sure you follow the directions. And then you have you can see that here. Then you have your PowerPoint presentation to do. So those are the major components of this class. As we move along, we will discuss more. I'm sure you'll have questions that you would want to have answered about the class. So go ahead and get started on week 1 activities, the introductions, and reading the article. And don't forget to post to the discussion board. Thank you, and I'm looking forward to a great semester. I messed up. Oh, stop.